Greetings, all! Today, we will be examining the uncommon fighting-type Pokemon Makuhita, the Guts Pokémon, and its relatively rare evolution Hariyama, the Arm Thrust Pokémon. Though they might seem pillowy and marshmallow-like in their form from afar, the members of the Makuhita family are strong fighters that can more than use their impressive bulk to take hits and throw them right back at their opponents. Makuhita possess teardrop-shaped bodies with yellow skin covering most of their frame, including their main torso, two-toed feet, and head. There is a black ring around their neck with a circular extension that covers part of their upper torso, while their hands are fingerless and are covered in the same kind of black tissue. Their head is adorned with a fleshy top knot of material that is used primarily for regulating their body temperature, while their cheeks are marked with red ring-like markings and their face markings are quite thin, with their mouth looking like a thin line drawn on their face and the eyes being very small, perpetually hidden between their abnormally shaped eyelids. Their evolved form, Hariyama, have a much larger humanoid form with orange feet of the same number of digits and large three-fingered hands with flat and incredibly broad fingers and palms. Their lower torso skin is dark blue at the legs with a frill of yellow flesh-like material covering their mid-torso, making them look as if they are wearing pants with a belt of some sort. Their upper torso and arms are a light beige color, while there is a spot of orange flesh near their belly area. Their head is adorned with large circular ears, a crest of blue flesh that extends in a V-shape in the front of their head to a ribbon-like form on their back side of their head. Their mouth is incredibly small and nearly invisible, and their eyes are black in color with large whites, giving them an overall menacing and intimidating appearance. While their choice of fighting style might make them substantially different from other fighting-type Pokemon, the members of the Makuhita family are tough customers that can more than make good use of their body to deliver powerful physical strikes in a fight, and this primarily comes down to the way in which their bodies are constructed. While these Pokemon look to be incredibly large and fat, in truth, almost the entirety of their bulk is actually made out of pure muscle tissue, attached to their bones as massive hunks that somewhat impede their movement abilities, but otherwise grant them incredible stamina and a capacity to take a massive amount of damage before falling, especially when in an adult form. These creatures primarily use their entire bodies as weapons in battle at a young age, but gradually begin to specialize in using their hands and arms as their primary weapons in a fight, throwing the entire momentum of their body into their blows to halt even the strongest of fighters in their tracks. Their large frames seem to partially be a consequence of their sex ratio, as 75% of these creatures are males compared to females, resulting in them often being able to handle a larger degree of bulk on their bones. Interestingly though, as much as these creatures are powerful fighters that each have their own way of tackling opponents, it is noted that they do have a common thread with each other in their ability to utilize a special signature attack, the Smelling Salts attack. This unique move involves these creatures attacking with their sweat, which crystallizes into a fine powder when dried, forcefully shoving the powder into the face of opponents. This attack is only moderately powerful under normal circumstances and is only considered to be a normal type attack, but the salts used in the attack are renowned for being able to heal others and help to loosen up their muscles, effectively allowing them to cure paralysis. However, the salts do this via a violent exothermic reaction, and the intense heat acts to severely damage the outer skin and hide of targets it is applied to. So while the attack can cure an opponent of their paralysis, it will end up dealing double the normal amount of damage if it does so. Hariyama can even combine this with their liquid sweat to utilize a variation of the brine attack after evolving, though they have little use for it in combat. In looking at their abilities, the thick bodies and resilient nature of these creatures grant them access to thick fat and guts as base abilities, while those that are extremely proficient in delivering devastating strikes at maximum force can also possess sheer force as a hidden ability. As far as their stats go, in the case of Hariyama, their special powers and defenses are fairly poor as a result of them lacking significantly armored skin, and their mobility is greatly hampered by their weight, so most of their stats are below average for a fully evolved fighting-type Pokemon. On the other hand though, they can still hit quite hard with their attacks, and they have an incredible amount of stamina as a result of their muscle tissue cushioning the blow of many attacks, resulting in them having above average base HP and attack stats, and further having the highest base HP stat out of all fighting-type Pokemon. They might look a bit silly and cumbersome to some, but these powerful sumo-like fighters can more than throw their weight around and prove to be a hassle to handle if their weak defenses cannot be taken advantage of. Makuhita are often admired by other fighters for their tenacious fighting spirits, for even if these creatures are knocked to the ground, they will get right back up and keep on fighting. This not only can help intimidate the opposition, but also serves them well in their development, for every time they are knocked down and get back up, they store a bit of the energy taken from the blow in their bodies, slowly accumulating it and storing this energy in the muscles in preparation for the day when they will have enough to instigate evolution. In the meantime, these creatures follow a strict but otherwise body-friendly lifestyle, waking up in the early morning, going out to train, eating, and then taking a nap in the afternoon to recharge themselves, and returning to training in the evening before getting a good night's sleep, ensuring that they keep their bodies healthy and hardy as they continuously store energy for evolution, leading many, including Machop, to pay them a great deal of respect. These critters will often practice their talents by using tackle attacks at an early age to slam their bodies against hard objects to toughen themselves up, often choosing trees and especially cave walls to do this. If you can hear the rumbling of moving rock in a cave, or see a vast number of trees that have been snapped in half, it is a clear sign that a Makuhita nest is nearby, and they have been engaging in strenuous training with their tackle and arm thrust attacks, respectively. In the Alola region, though, this can be a bit of a problem for these creatures, as they have been known to accidentally hit Alolan Executor in mistaking them for trees, leading to them getting flung away for their mistake. Interestingly, their ability to take just about any type of minor blow without flinching and tireless spirit has made them popular in places like the Alola region, even though they were not originally native there, and it is believed that in places like this, there is a special stew recipe that is known by only a few people in the world that is said to be perfectly tailored to helping these creatures grow big and strong. Though getting access to the stew might be incredibly hard, regardless, these creatures are quite powerful for their small size and can definitely prove to be a handful if allowed to run rampant in a fight. When Makuhita evolve into Hariyama, they experience a tremendous boost in power, with all of their base stats doubling in value, and in turn, making them incredibly powerful fighters that can more than use their massive bodies and impressive physical strength to beat down anything that gets in their way. When it comes to pure offensive power, Hariyama primarily rely on their massive hands to deal the most damage. These appendages are incredibly broad and flat, and are designed to allow these monsters to deal devastating open palm thrusting slaps that can deal tremendous damage to anything they strike. In fact, these monsters are so strong that they can stop a speeding train with a single forceful arm thrust slap, oftentimes standing on train tracks to do just that to test their strength, and can easily snap trees and telephone poles in half in the same manner with little effort. This incredible offensive power is further demonstrated in their stamina, as because their bodies are almost completely made out of muscle tissue, if these creatures bunker down and tighten all of their muscles at once, they can make their bodies as hard as rock, and in turn incredibly hard to damage. Not surprisingly, these creatures are very welcoming of challenges, and will often instigate their own against other large Pokemon in order to prove their strength, and will go to great lengths in order to dominate their opponents, even if they do so honorably, and never result to cheating to win a contest of strength. With the power to send a 10-ton truck flying with a single slap, this can often spell doom for their opponents, especially if they stomp the ground first in order to build up their fighting spirit beforehand, and are thus very dangerous creatures to have to face in a fight. Even smaller Hariyama are to be feared, for those of a smaller size category are often astoundingly quick on their feet, and can thus use their bulk in ways that normal Hariyama cannot, making them unpredictable and extremely skilled in ways that only patient and understanding trainers will be able to make the most of. It is noted though that as these creatures get older in the wild, they will often hang up their competitive mindset and instead spend their time training wild Makuhita in the way of fighting, helping to pay forward the attacks and techniques they have acquired over time in order to make the next generation of fighters more successful. Moreover, they will often show etiquette in praising the performance of other Pokemon they share the battlefield with, showing a wiser, kinder, and more honorable side to them than their otherwise offensively fueled behavior might dictate. While they might not be able to show the impressive muscular strength that they possess in appearance alone, the members of the Makuhita family are still powerful creatures that can more than use their large bodies and palms to deliver bone-crushing blows in a fight. They may not be among the strongest of fighting-type Pokemon at a young age, but these beasts can more than prove to be a nightmare to face as an adult, and, as the heaviest of all fighting-type Pokemon known when fully evolved, can more than use their immense mass to flatten the competition before they can really get going. If you plan on training with one of these creatures professionally as a fighter, or otherwise encounter one in the wild, do yourself a favor and make sure that you steer clear of them when they are preparing an attack. They might look silly in the way they stomp their feet or prepare themselves for a fight, but get in the way of one of their devastating arm thrust attacks, and you will more than likely be sent flying a great distance away before landing hard on the ground. If the initial impact doesn't crush your entire skeleton, that is. Thank you all for watching this video. It is always an honor to be able to speak with you all on the subject of Pokemon in a way that brings me great joy and happiness in my work. If you would like to keep tabs on past and future work, click that subscribe button, check out my work on DeviantArt, and don't be shy about following me on Twitter, where you can find pertinent announcements on upcoming work before it is officially posted. Links to both can be found in the video description. If you would like to support my work and help Miguel and I continue to produce more content for you and improve upon our presentation, please visit us at my Patreon page, which you can also find a link to in the video description.
No.
With that, I thank you for watching and I wish you well.